Hello everyone, my name is Antazil and today I'll be doing a challenge with France. I'll be copying a game Hatless Spider did on his channel, where he got the Franco-Spanish Union with all cores in 1938, I think, in historical mode. This is actually quite difficult, and congrats to him for pulling it off the first time, and I just had to do it myself to see how hard it was. This is an extra recording because, well, in my recorded game it was my 5th attempt and I was pretty much zoned out already. So here's my enthusiastic take after being successful. Why is it so hard to do this? Now, let's start at the beginning. The Kingdom of Franco Spain is something you can do through the focus tree all the way over here. National block, utilize leagues, do one of the non-aligned versions and take the legitimate heir. Here you can see secure the crown of Spain. It says here gains annex war goal against Spain, but this changes once you are non-aligned and once Carlist Spain exists. Then it becomes that you ally yourselves with Spain, and here you annex Spain with all the cores they have at that moment. The problem next is to have Carlist Spain exist. Now, in historical mode, they rarely spawn. You'd have to go non-historical and set the game to have to Spain go Carlist. But that would take off Iron Man mode, and that's something we don't want. And non-historical is a circus, so we don't want to do that. And it can be done in historical. We got the idea originally from the Bubble Zest video, where he explained to us that if the Spanish cannot go for Consolidate the North, which is a focus. Where is it? It's on the other side, of course. If they cannot go for this focus, then they cannot fuse the parties here, and then they cannot remove the Carlist uprising, and the Carlist will rise up. Now, this is the entire clue of this video. How to prevent the Carlist uprising. How to prevent the fuse of parties, how to get the Carlists to uprise. The Republicans need to hold one of these provinces. Now, they start out with 2 of them, Asturias and País Vasco, but they lose them quite quickly, so you have to send volunteers to help them out and take one of those, control of one of those provinces. That's possible. It sometimes takes you a restart because of the debuff, unplanned offensive, but there's that. Then you get the Carlist spawn. If you're unlucky, or even if you're lucky, they can spawn into 1 to 3 provinces. They're not going to win that, so you need to send volunteers. But you're already sending volunteers to Republican Spain, so how do you do that? You go into a civil war. That way your volunteers are withdrawn, and you can then send new volunteers. That's quite convoluted, but hey, it works. Now, before you spam me up on this, simply deleting your volunteers is not enough. The game will still consider you sending volunteers to Republican Spain, and you can send volunteers to 2 sides at once. So there's that. Having said that, well, let's get on with the setup, and it will be in lightning speed. This is not a guide, this is just me showing off that I can do something. For a good guide on playing France, go to my France into European Union video. Let's just do the very quick setup. Well, I'm on early mobilization, that's certainly an advantage. Let's see if it pays off with the rest here. Well, here's the Spanish Civil War. Let's send some volunteers. I prepared my mountaineers especially for this, and the 200 tactical bombers. Alright, we're looking for, of course, to take one of these regions from the Spanish. They all have the debuff. This one doesn't. I don't need this one, but it might give me an inroad to Burgos, so let's try that one. Alright, this looks successful. I've taken Burgos, which means the nationalists no longer have control over the state, and it's now crossed out. Probably just in time. These states have been lost from the beginning, and now it's just a matter of not losing territory. Easier. Going to allow send weapons, so the communist uprising will come once again. This time I want it to. This way I can get my volunteers back home and get me out of the war here. It's now late enough for the Carlists to be forced to rise up. If I time it correctly, if I have timed it correctly, I will be able to send volunteers to the Carlists to keep them in the war until I'm flipping non-aligned myself. Civil War is about to fire. Yes, we will seize the gold reserves. 13 days, this is a good time to start deleting the army. And I do mean all of the army. And all of the Air Force. I'll send a lend-lease of all my gear now. And here we are. Immediately modify the lend-lease, clear all, send, get it back, create a new template. The unicorns. And start with 12 of these and then some 68, I believe. It's almost time for the Carlists to rise up. And I'll need to help them out quickly. Here they are. They spawned pretty big, but in many of my test runs this has gone terribly wrong. They have a tendency to fold into themselves for some reason. Alright, 20%. Let's drop some troops. That's the French Commune. Alright, time to deploy the rest. How many guys can we send? 3. So split off 3. Can we switch those to the Mountaineers? No, we can't. Can we switch 2 of them to Mountaineers? Yes, we can. And the fast one will be a regular infantry. Send them to the Carlist right away, but let's make sure to send airplanes as well. Alright, the real effort will be to contain this mess and keep Carlists alive for about half a year. Come on, don't let them snake everywhere. Certainly don't let them take my airport. Well, we can do the repeal the law of exile, which puts our on our way to becoming non-aligned and then intervening in the civil war. According to Hatless Spider, I need to capitulate the Republicans before the Nationalists, and then Spain will have a window in which I can annex them with all cores. Naturally, I want to try to do that, but capping the Republicans first is going to be tricky. Still, I'll try. Madrid would be nice to have. Something seems to be happening that I see a lot in these games. Once I disturb the balance of power too much, the nationalists just become too strong and waltz over the Carlists. I'm going to have to be really careful now. Because the Carlists don't have a lot of troops, and I'm still far away from actually helping them out with my regular army. So let's slice off a few. And capping the Republicans is going to be a bit of a challenge, but maybe the Nationalists will do that for me. And see, Carlist Spain does not have the troops to guard its entire border. And now they're getting pushed back because the Republicans are not resisting as much. There are so many empty tiles here. It's a wonder we're doing as well as we are. And here we go. The loss of Spanish cores. Express edition. How much time? 35 days. Just finish them off, come on. Alright, now these guys are all freed up. And let's help out here. The interesting part of the battle support doctrine is already done. Now these snaking units can easily get the few victory points Carlist Spain started out with. That's not that worrisome this time, but I've lost games due to that. And I'm getting pushed back here. Red alert, red alert. And suddenly these guys are like railroading. So fast. Come on, get out! This is incredible. These guys are moving twice as fast as I am. It's just not fair. Almost there. Might not even lose the volunteers. And I didn't. Come on, get out! Legitimate error is done. And I can now, where is it? Intervene on the side of Carlist Spain. This is the magic button. And here we go. Volunteers are evacuated. And here we are. Too bad for my war propaganda, but hey, well, at least we won. Secure the crown of Spain. And now you can do unite the crowns, and you can see that 21 states will become cores of Bourbon France. So let's do this right away. for maximum scoring. Let's unite the crowns, and here we are. The Kingdom of Franco Spain is complete. And look at this. These are core states of Franco Spain, all of them. So this mission is successful. I have created Franco Spain with all cores. Just look at that compliance map mode. Beautiful. Well, thank you very much for Hatless Spider for giving me this very excruciating challenge. Once again, I'll be cutting out some Dutch swear words. This was touch and go for a moment, and I had to restart several times to make it happen. Check out his channel to find out how he did it. And if you would like this one, leave other challenges for me on my channel. I don't do artillery only, but I always enjoy nice story-wise telling challenges like Formidable Nations or winning with the underdog. Leave comments, likes and subscribe, and see you next time. Bye bye.